Good morning, good evening, good night, and welcome to Pass on Your Crown podcast. And I'm your host, Pattie J. Not y'all looking at me funny. Come on now. Listen, today we have a very exciting lineup. We have two special guests. We have Danny, a close friend, and she is also a friend that's going to be honest and be very intuitive and give her opinion and no bullshit. And then we have JD, the incognito guest, who's always hidden and behind the scenes, who never fails to bring humor and thought-provoking insights.
Oh, you gave his intros.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Me gusta.
So welcome. I like to start my episodes off with thorns and roses. JD knows about it, but I'll explain it to you. Thorns is something negative that happened in your week, and then you finalize it by saying something. Rose, which is a positive thing that happened in your week. So give me something. What's negative and then what's positive?
Oh man, work.
That's always a negative for everybody.
It's been, I know, it's like really draining though. I feel like there's like no good days at work.
When you get paid.
That's it. Where you say we was going tonight? Where you say we was going?
Yeah. So what's the positive? What's the positive?
I'm here. Thank you for having me.
What about you, JD? What's the negative?
I don't have any thorns. I was just sick. That was the only thorns that really happened. Positive, let's see. Some decisions that I've come to. I know what I'm going to do now. Some decisions I'm going to be making in the near future.
Okay.
So, yeah.
A negative for me is, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm gonna leave my negative in my mind, because if I say what I want to say, it's not going to sound nice. But just know the devil's working, and I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Okay. And the positive is, my children, it's their break for school, but they're with their auntie, and now I'm going to deal with them for a few days, so that's a positive. I'm going to get to sleep. I'm going to get to relax. I'm going to get to have a time by myself. That's amazing. But yeah, that's the positive.
I don't remember having all these days off when we was going to school back
Right.
then. I really don't.
Right. I feel like we was going to school even through the summer. That's what it felt
The
like
whole
at least.
summer.
That's
No
what
breaks.
it felt like at least.
No days off.
Exactly. But we're going to get into it. Today's episode is going to be titled The Sibling Spectrum, Unique Paths Under One Roof. We're going to be talking about being siblings. JD and I are both middle children. Danny is the baby of the family. So we're going to talk about the different dynamics, growing up in the same house, but still having different views and outlooks on life.
That word up.
Yeah, you made it hot. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. So the first question we're going to jump in with is, I already explained what position we're all in the family, which is that you're a baby, you're the middle, I'm the middle. But do you guys believe that the position in the family affects how you're treated?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, explain.
I feel like it's like, I don't know, I think it's like favoritism. I don't really think it's based off of like the age range or anything though. Cause like my mom, she like my one son. Like, girl, you got two daughters. That's two's better than one.
That's how it is.
I look just like you, maybe, like, But you would assume like the youngest gets whatever they want. No.
Really? I definitely had that thought.
I wish. Yeah, no. I feel like I got like the end of the stick.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Oh wow. What about you, JD? You're the middle. How you feel?
Everybody thinks the middle gets ignored. I guess kinda I was. But my parents deep down know I'm the favorite child. At the end of the day, I've caused them stress.
I definitely feel that.
Especially the older you get, your parents appreciate you as a middle child.
Because we stayed out the way for the most part. We just going with the wind. So it's kind of like, you kind of don't really miss them.
My youngest, he don't get spoiled like he gets what he wants, but he's spoiled and he does whatever he wants and nothing really happens to him. The rest of us couldn't do that.
And within my family, on my dad's side, I'm the only girl. So there you go. I'm spoiled with that. I'm his only daughter, so I get what I want. On my mom's side, I am the third girl, and her and I don't have the best relationship. I don't know. For me, when she got her boys, like the one son, she got her boys. It was it. It was her boys, and that's it. So, but then, and on the other hand, my siblings feel like I'm her favorite too, which is really weird because I don't feel that energy.
It's always different how your siblings view it.
Yeah, I don't feel that. I don't feel that. I think if anything, I guess the reason they feel like I'm the favorite is because I'm more vocal than they are with her. So because I'm able to express myself to her more, they probably feel that way.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, but that's about it. So what are your thoughts on the middle child? Now, let me back it up. Before we even get onto the middle child, let's talk about the firstborn child. What are our thoughts on the firstborn child? Because I know a lot of people like to make the joke that firstborn children think they're the manager of the family and think they're the actual other parent.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I mean, I feel like my brother acts like he's like my dad. Like you're older than me, but you're not my dad.
You're
He'd be
not
like, no,
responsible.
like why
come
would
on.
you do this? So why would you
I
do
definitely
that?
agree with that on both sides.
I'm like, you talking to me? Me?
What about you?
My sister kind of was the manager for a little bit at one
Really?
point. When my parents split, she was the manager for a little bit. So she gets that grace. So when she gets to do whatever she wants growing up, she gets that grace. She didn't really complain too much.
For me, on my mom's side, my sister was the oldest, and me and her used to butt heads all the time because she acted like she was my mom. But then as I got older, I wanted her to be my mom. I was like, help me, take me with you.
The age gap probably plays a role too.
Yeah, my sister is 10 years older than me. And then my brother, him and I are 5 years apart. But my older brother's always been chill. He just always warned me about men, and that was the most part. Like, don't be out here being no hoe. And that's it. Other than that, he's mad chill. He didn't really bother me too much. But now I can go back to the question of asking you, what's your thoughts on the middle child?
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like she's like more of like a daddy's girl, not really like a mommy's girl. So like we're spoiled like that way, not really like with mom. So it's just like as far as like mom now, like we bump heads, like we all bump heads with mom. So it's just like I don't really know, but I look up to my sister. I look up to her, and it's like, yeah, girl, like I'm younger than you, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's like any favoritism with that. It's just really my mom with that one son. It's like, girl, you have 2 daughters. We here. You had them, but we're here too. So I don't know.
Well, because I have a lot of siblings, I'm kind of the middle, but I got a middle beside me. My brother, him and I are both middle on both sides. My brother Dante, and him and I are like twins in a way where we get along. When we get along, we get along. When we don't get along, we don't get along. Like
bump heads.
It's bad. It's bad. But we could also talk about the baby because we're about to get on you too. What's your thoughts on the baby of the family? Or the baby of the group?
He just does what he wants at the end of the day. And then the siblings kind of raised him, so we just understand him, so we just treat him as such. And then the parents don't get him because they didn't really raise him. So they be looking at him like he's crazy. And we're like, no, this is just him. You guys should have been around and took care of him. It should have helped. This is what we came out with.
This is what we came out with.
The baby of the family, my family. For me, I feel bad for the baby in my family because my parents had him when they were older. Like my mom, I think, was like 40, and my dad was like right behind her, like 38 at the time. So he kind of everybody just passed him around, like whoever was willing to help and take on the responsibility of taking care of him. So he's treated like the middle child, what people would think is the middle child. That's how I feel with my baby and my family. But I feel like most people's opinion of the baby is to think that y'all are spoiled, y'all are entitled, y'all think y'all get what y'all want, y'all think y'all are entitled to all of those things. So when you said it's not, so it all depends on the family itself.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, we're not spoiled or anything. I think, if anything, I feel like I act like I'm the oldest. Like, my mom comes to me.
I think y'all the oldest. That's the thing. The youngest always think they the oldest.
My mom calls me for, like, every damn thing. So it's just like, call you one son.
Do you think as the last child, you'll get along with dating an older sibling? Like if the guy you date is the oldest, do you think you and him will get along? Or do you think you have to date a middle child or the baby like you?
No, I definitely wouldn't go for the baby like me. I think it depends because I don't know. Most of the time, I'll talk to somebody that's like probably like the only child, and then they're like spoiled. So it's like we're like 2 different people, but it's just like we find a median. But no, I don't think like the age or anything in the first, middle, or last child really matters. I don't know.
What about you?
I'm thinking back. I think most people I've dated were middle children. Now that I think about it.
I think I've dated the oldest in the beginning of time when dating. Then I dated the only child. I would not do that again. Only child, absolutely not.
I don't think I could do a youngest. And I think about it.
I can't do a youngest. I can't because the entitlement that comes with the youngest. I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
And I'm not babying. I'm thinking
about if a woman act how my little brother acted, like in whatever the woman version of that is. Nah, we'd fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me that I can't do only
We
got to
would
do
fight.
the oldest because the oldest is gonna be acting like you're my parent. You're not my parent. I can't do the oldest.
Yeah.
I can't do the baby because I'm not gonna baby you.
Oh, no, I could
So
do
I'm
that 'cause
locked
I'ma
in
treat
with
you
the
like my
middle. I'm
parent,
locked
just
in with the
ignore you.
middle.
Yeah,
I'm locked in because I feel like we went through the trenches together. We understand each other a little better. We
You got a
it's like
point.
in
You got a
between.
point.
With the middle, we can be stern, but we also can be playful because we're in the middle.
Middle,
You got to be
yeah.
able to accommodate both sides.
We've learned how to play both sides. So now you
Exactly.
gotta
What I
figure
absolutely will
shit.
not do is only child. Absolutely not. Because they don't understand. Like when you have a sibling, y'all are a team. When you're the only, you don't know what it means to be a team. You don't know what it means to look out for another person. You kind of just only for yourself. So I can't do it.
You
Fact,
definitely
like who you
right
call when
about
you in
that.
trouble? You can't be like come on now. My big
And then
sister beat you
also
up.
because I feel like when it comes on to like ranking what's important in your life, only child would rank their parent first always because they own their
They don't got
they're
nobody
all their
else.
parents has.
You better have some cousins if you're only child.
Exactly.
I
So it's
feel
like, dang, like, because my ranks and my thoughts, we could talk about that real fast. The ranks and like who's important when it comes on to like
I feel like
wife.
as an adult, unless it's health reasons, if you only have one child, that's selfish.
Selfish.
If it's not health reasons, I feel like that's selfish to have one kid. Get that motherfucker somebody to play with.
I mean, I get what you're saying. It's because if something happens to that child too, it's like you have nothing, nobody to
else.
leave anything behind.
Or
Too.
make sure he or she got some cousins. Or they. It's 2025, I guess.
True.
We don't subscribe to that. No, absolutely not.
Clip it up.
But listen, you just missed me lose my whole train of thought saying that foolishness. I'm so sorry.
I'm fried.
Yes, you are.
Y'all retarded.
Well, we're gonna talk about it being acceptable or not for parents to have favorites. Do you guys think it's acceptable? You said yes.
Totally unacceptable.
Explain, please.
Everybody has
Are you
a
kidding
favorite.
me?
Explain.
Everybody has a favorite cousin. Everybody has a favorite. It's not okay to say out loud, but you can have it internally.
I genuinely do not have a favorite. I have 2 kids and I do not have a favorite.
All right, it might not be a favorite, but I feel like every parent knows which child they really could depend on and which child, if something went wrong, they wouldn't be surprised by.
Because I so strongly dislike favoritism is why I made myself find equal ways to love my children for who they are.
Well, you have 2 of the same. Your kids the same. They just 3 years
Well,
apart. They're
yeah,
the same fucking person.
but
That's why you can't have a favorite. It's the same person.
I love them equally for different things. I dislike equally different things. I make it as fair as I can make it because I don't want my daughters to ever feel like one is above the other. Because then it creates sibling rivalry where this one's beefing with this one and they're fighting and they're this and they're that. That alone, I feel like is like the favoritism thing is what parents create to have control.
I'm the favorite child now. I know that for a fact.
Okay, but let's really talk about it. The quote unquote favorite child is the most controlled.
Most control.
That's my opinion. And the reason I say that
I can
y'all
see-
are
I
the
can
most
see
controlled
yours,
is
yeah.
because y'all love being them. Oh, my niece little under her
Right
titty,
underneath them,
under
yeah.
daddy.
Oh no, 'cause
So
I
y'all
don't get
do
that.
whatever the parent says, even when it's wrong. You don't think so?
No,
Okay, expound.
no.
Why not? Why don't you think
I can
that?
see how you say that, but no. You've seen
You
me.
saying no, but explain.
You've seen me argue with my mother.
Arguing is different.
Yeah, that means I don't just let shit be said.
Yeah, but arguing after 10 strikes is the problem.
Well, I just choose to always avoid conflict. That's just me naturally. So I'm always gonna let it get more than 3 strikes, anyways.
That's not healthy. That's not.
Oh,
good.
I didn't say it's good. I mean,
That's
that's
not
just how I
good.
am.
Because I also think that parents, like for me, because how I seen how toxic it could be with
How I
parents,
saw.
whichever, they understand what I said.
Whatever.
I seen it, saw it, I don't give a damn. I think it's unhealthy for parents to have favorites or to like talk to one child about another child.
I hate that.
Oh no, that's not okay.
I hate it because it's like I can't trust you as my parent because if I'm gonna come to you, let's say my light's about to get cut off, and I'm coming to you like, yo, mom, my light's about to get cut off. Now I gotta worry about you telling all my siblings. Now they all know, and it's not even like you're trying to help me. You just want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna talk about it, help me at least. Throw a little $20 in a bucket and give it to me or something. But if you're just gonna talk about it just to not help,
Weird.
why? Like I hate seeing videos of siblings. Like there was this Jamaican artist. She has like tattoos on her forehead. You know what I'm talking about? I wish I could remember her name. She has tattoos on her forehead. No, she's really off. Like she used to be on Facebook with her kids, and her kids used to be fist fighting. And she's always be like, stop fighting. And then on the other hand, she'll be like talking crap about the other child just fought. in the video, like, he always doing that. You're so right. You're so right. And it's like parents don't realize when you do that, you're the problem. You're creating the issue
You're
between your
making it
children.
worse.
You're making them fight. Like, why are you doing that? So we gonna dive into that too. Like, parents, look, you smiling over there. I think that as siblings, we have to be a team no matter what. Even if we're not rocking with that sibling, if mom calls or dad calls and calls you about your sibling, you need to dead that.
Don't
Dead
entertain
it.
it.
Like, don't even entertain it. Look at him over there smiling because he
I'm
probably he probably
smiling
right
'cause
on the
I'm
phone like,
fried.
yeah,
Mom, you know what he said to me?
Yeah, mom. Yeah, let me tell you what this dummy done did. Okay, let me tell you. That's probably why you over there smiling. Because your mommy's little favorite, and you get to talk.
He's like, yeah, you're
I'm
right.
laughing because that's not true. So I'm just gonna keep laughing. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm too high for this.
So,
Man, it's hot in there. Shit.
JD, you're not a father yet, but you have your stepchildren. Do you think that if one of your stepchildren come to you about the other, you're gonna talk about it, or are you gonna tell them to talk to their sibling?
It depends on when you say talk about it. What do you mean?
Like if they talking crap, like so and so ain't clean their room for 2 days and she
I'll
dirty.
tell them now to stop that.
That's
He's gonna sit down and talk to the both of them separately, and then be like, "All right, come on, let's talk now together. Now talk about it." And then he's gonna sit back and listen and let them talk. That's
well, you
honestly
haven't given your daughter a sibling yet, but God's willing, you give her you give her a little sibling.
I don't know like she wants to give her.
You gonna give her a sibling?
She's gonna adopt him.
Because earlier, JD said it's selfish when parents don't have another child.
Shit, then call me selfish. Call me selfish. Then.
Give her a little sibling.
From where? It's
a stork.
Go adopt a 15-year-old. You want to take care of them for 3 years.
Get you a little surrogate.
I like them when they're small, but when you can like give them back to their parent, like I feel like Sky, she's good. Like she's 10 years old. She knows how to do everything on her own.
I definitely feel you on that. I definitely feel
like
you
she's
on
like
that.
my best friend. Like we can go get our nails on, we can go shopping. She can go to the store. She has her own money. She uses her phone. She pays for stuff on her own. Listen, this is like my little best friend. I don't even listen. Why I gotta have another one?
If you do have another one, because you got her to do all of that, she's gonna think she the boss of the family. She's gonna be like, all right, guys, let's go. Okay, so on today's to-do list, and she's gonna give them a list of things they're supposed to do because you have her doing all of that. She's gonna definitely be the family manager, running the money.
Then in 20 years, she'll be
like,
my mom made me raise these kids.
She's like, we got $20, and this is what we doing. You brought up a good point. We're gonna talk about that too. The baby of the family being raised by the siblings. I was one of those. Me and my siblings used to raise that little nugget. That was the most annoying thing there. When I was 13, he was a baby. He was born when I was 13. My mom would literally be like, "You can't go nowhere without your brother. Don't go nowhere without your brother." Danny could tell you. I used to have the stroller. Remember, I used to have the stroller and the baby bag on my shoulder.
Danny don't know nothing.
You do know. I used to have the stroller. Exactly. The stroller and the baby bag on. Danielle and them knew. I had to pack his bag before we went anywhere. Let's go, guys. Yo. And we used to be down the block. I used to go to the park, come back down. Him and that stroller.
Yo. Shit.
And then what's so dangerous with that, and the reason why I would never let my kids watch my kids alone or ever take them out on
they're
road.
a kid. They're a kid too.
Yes, the foolishness I used to do with my little brother. My mother would have went to jail. I'm so sorry. I never forget one time I went racing. My friends.
It's already started off bad. It's already started off bad.
Horrible.
I went racing.
Does he remember?
Like
does he know this?
Listen, that's probably why he don't talk to me now.
He's watching this.
Because they remember it more than you do. They remember everything you did.
He don't deal with me now probably because of it. I'm telling you, we was racing on the block. They were on the bike. They had a scooter, a bike. They were in the street. I was on the sidewalk. And I'm like, let's race. So I'm running on foot with the stroller. And I'm out.
Wait, you ran with the stroller?
I ran with the stroller.
Did the stroller flip over?
I was kicking it into gear. I was running with that stroller. You know how sometimes the sidewalk has a little like dip?
Uneven.
Oh, you guys flipped over?
His stroller went forward and I flew over the stroller.
Oh.
I mean, thank God he was connected. Like his whole body was connected. So he was just dangling. But it's like, yo, that could have went bad so fast. Or like one time.
I bet you didn't tell your mother. Hell no.
I didn't. And it was another time. This is the last story I'm going to tell. It was another time. It was me and Alexis. Alexis, shout out to you. Because she going to remember this story. Me and her had him on the porch. And we was just... I had his legs. She had his arms. And we were like, wee. I don't know
He flew. You did.
Alexis let go.
Don't blame
Alexis
her.
let go. I don't know who
If
told
one
her
person
Alexis,
let go and the other held on, he wouldn't have
Alexis,
flew.
tell us who let
Both of y'all
let
let
go.
go.
No, she
That's
let go and
so-
he hit his head. Oh my God. He was a little older, so his head was soft spot was closed up by then. He was like 2. So, he was a little better. She let him
He
go.
was a little
and
better.
That's
He was
why
2, like he's developed.
parents
Like, it's
do not
okay.
have your children raising your children.
Yeah, don't.
You don't know what happens when you're not around.
Yo.
So yeah, I probably contribute to him being kind of a little slow. But God forgive me, I'm sorry to you. But because of that, I'm not gonna have my daughters helping me babysit. Like, if you're gonna babysit where I can see you. You're not about to go take that baby out my room and go in the living room because you're not gonna drop my baby and not tell me. Not happening.
You hear a thump and the kids, what happened? Nothing. They'll lie straight to your face.
And the baby like this on the floor.
I dropped the toy. Look, I dropped the toy. No, the baby is not
Absolutely
a toy.
not. Not my baby.
No. Oh
Not my
God.
baby. I think it's selfish. Like, I understand you having your one child and sticking to your one child. You know what you can handle. Because I think it's selfish when parents have more than one child and you cannot take care of all of them. So you're leaving the responsibility on other people.
Yep.
I think that's super selfish. So I definitely get it. Because if I got to go to work and work my 9 to 5 and you home, like, go get so-and-so from school and come home with them and pack their bag.
Damn,
That's not fair to children. Let children be children. If you can't do it, then don't do it. Don't do it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk a little since we're talking about family. Danny and I have similar views on families. We're very like harsh. We're very like, I don't care if you blood related, cut you off. You disrespect me, cut you off. And JD is very family oriented. So
I never had beef with my family like y'all. That's why.
do you think because you're family oriented, it comes from you just overlooking the negatives, or you just didn't experience the negatives, so you don't hold on to nothing?
Definitely overlooked some negatives, but nothing ever major happened to me where I feel like I'm just tucking it in the side.
Okay. Well,
and nothing to my knowledge happened to any of my siblings unless they just been lying and holding it in all these years.
That could be. That's not on you then. It's not on you if they didn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
But for you, Danny, since we, like I said earlier, share the same views, do you think that because you know and pay attention to more of the negatives, that's why you have made the decision to kind of keep your distance with your family?
Yeah, because you can't like just not see it. Like, it happens, and like, I go through it, so it's just like, you guys just don't think I'm gonna react, like, or you guys just didn't know how I was going to react. So it's just like, I just feel like certain things just like doesn't really deserve my energy anymore, and it's just like, all right, cool, it happened, and I'll hold a little grudge, but it's just like, I'm letting it go. I'm gonna just keep my distance for my sake. So it's just like, it's just not worth it.
Why you making hard?
Yeah, like, what happened?
I've heard you say this same thing word for word. You got the same person. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I've heard you say this word for word before.
I know. I really feel like when you, not even when you get older, but when you have your own family, like, that's your new family. Like, you don't really. I'm not gonna say I don't care for my immediate family, but it's just like, I got my own right now. Yeah. So it's
not your priority anymore.
Yeah, like, if we fall out,
I think the reason why I feel the way I feel towards my family is because I was being nosy, and in me being nosy, I learned so much about my family that. And I also diagnose people a lot, and JD gets on my ass about this all the time. Because I'm always thinking somebody's on the spectrum or have some kind of issue mentally, when I notice something or a pattern of something with a certain person, no matter who it is, I immediately clock in. I'm like, oh, he got Asperger's.
I was just about
oh, he got a little bit of something.
She put a whole stigmatism on somebody.
But let me tell you why I do that. I know it's not okay. You shouldn't be diagnosing people. But the reason I do that is because for me, I could allow you in my life to some degree when I put you in that position. Like, you got to have something wrong with you, because if you're that bold to be that crazy and that stupid,
yeah, something's wrong.
I can't have you in my life. So to have you in my life, I got to put you on the spectrum. So I could be like, all right, you just a little slow.
This is the reason why he did that.
Better. I'm gonna forgive you for that. I'm gonna give you the grace for that because you were a little slow.
But she was like, you can't willingly be this slow. So
yeah,
it must be something wrong with you.
You giving him a chance.
I feel like what annoys me too is that I like with me and my siblings, for example, we all grew up in the same home with the same parents, but the same parent but different parent at the same time. Like, my older sister got my mom at a different point in her life. My middle sister, that's a little before me, same thing. I got her at a different point, and whoever came after gets them at a different point. Yeah. And it annoys me when older siblings, when you bring up a story that happened to you and their favorite line is, I don't remember that happening. So for them, it's I don't remember, so it's as if to them it never happened. Just because you don't remember.
You don't want to remember.
But just because you don't remember doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Doesn't mean it didn't happen. And not only that, don't dismiss if you don't remember. Don't dismiss it. Just be like, all right, I don't remember that, but I'm sorry you went through that. Whatever you went through.
Yeah.
Don't make them feel like, oh, I don't remember that, so it never happened. You're stupid. You're crazy. You're this. You're that. That's not cool. And when the way trauma works, what's traumatic to me, we all could go and have the same car accident tonight. God forbid. Pray that nothing happens to us. And you may feel like you are in worse pain than I'm in, and you may feel like you're in worse pain than I'm in, and we can't tell each other different. Like,
Yeah.
or you may think in your mind, oh, the car did this, or the person did this, or it's your fault, or it's that fault, but we all in the same. You don't know. Everybody has a different perspective. Everybody views everything differently. But I can't tell either one of you that y'all didn't have that experience. But a lot of the times, the older siblings, in my experience, they believe that because they're the oldest and they seen everything, that the younger siblings be tripping. And I don't like that shit. And that's why I keep my distance.
And that's why y'all on the spectrum.
And that's why y'all on the spectrum, because it gotta be. Because you must have some kind of Alzheimer's, dementia.
Alzheimer's. I think there's a Z in that word right there, babe.
Alzheimer's.
Some kind of developmental issue. Your brain can't retain certain information. It's you know, and you laughing, but people be really having issues mentally.
Yeah.
Sometimes our moms, if I could diagnose my mama, God forgive me. If I could diagnose a lot of our mamas are on the spectrum. A lot of our daddies are on the spectrum. And then it's just two spectrum people building up a family full of spectrums. And that's not right.
Yeah, it's not.
And the black sheep is always the person that's the smartest one. I don't care what nobody say. I always want to talk to the black sheep. I don't care. I always want to talk to the black sheep. But with all of that being said, do you feel like Danny and I are dwelling on everything, dwelling on the negativity?
Well, I know a little bit about your story, so not with you. I assume if you said she's going through similar stuff, then I'll give her the same grace and I'll say no.
But do you think in general sometimes that could be the case in some cases?
Oh, you definitely, I tell you all the time, you always go to negative first. But that's mostly based on what you've been through.
There's more negatives than positives.
See?
Yeah,
but you got to appreciate
we
the positives.
We get it.
But y'all don't appreciate the positives enough.
Because it's not a lot.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to do that. Like if it's 10, like...
But if you're looking for the negative in any situation, right, you won't find the positive.
Let me give you this outlandish story. Let's say you got jumped by 10 people.
Yeah.
Right? You alive.
That's the
positive.
positive.
Jumped still.
But you still got jumped. You lost your tooth. You lost a shoe. You broke an arm. You busted a lip. You got a black eye. Your toenails is off. Yeah. So you going, but at least I'm alive.
Oh, not in the moment. No, obviously not in the moment.
See?
So that's how we think. We holding on to the fact that you jumped me, I busted my lip, I blacked my eye, going down the list of things you did. So yes, I'm grateful to God I'm alive. But I'm gonna be mad as hell if I see one of y'all on the street. We gonna fight. It's up forever.
That's a positive right there. You caught him lacking. Now get your get back. You get your get back.
I mean, I get what she's saying. I don't think it's healthy for us to like hold grudges and to dwell on things. Because like at the end of the day, like they're our family still, but it's just like it doesn't give them the right to sit here and do certain things and just for them to expect for us to just like sweep it underneath the rug and just get over it the next day. Like I hate that. Like I hate that. Like if I have an argument with my brother or if I have an argument with my sister, the next day like we're gonna text each other like nothing ever happened. Like no, like we're two adults at the end of the day. We need to speak on it so that we can avoid it from happening again. And then it's just like a whole nother different situation. If I have an argument with my mother, it's just like.
Yeah, for me, I think the downsides in my family is because there's so many of us, it gets very cliquey.
Yeah.
So it's like this click and that click and that click and that click. So a lot of the time, just like you getting double team sometime, triple team sometime. When it's like, hold the fuck up, because now I'm gonna start swinging. Because who y'all talking to?
And you got a big age gap in your siblings.
Yeah,
too.
So it's like, for example, my two older sisters, they have the same father and mother, but we have a different father. So they're 3 years apart, but one's 10 years older than me, the other one's 8 years older than me. So it's them and then me. So a lot of the times they're obviously going to be close because they grew together. They grew up together. So a lot of the times I be getting mad and I be feeling left out because I'm like, damn, like I understand y'all got the same last name and y'all the same fucking sisters, but come on now, what am I, chopped liver? Like, come on, let me jump in. And then when I got older and had the conversation with my sisters and let them know how I felt, like, yo, I feel like y'all leave me out. I feel like y'all don't involve me in nothing and da 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 da. For them, on the other side of it, they felt like they were pushed out. Because once their dad was not with my mom, they felt like my mom started a new family and just moved forward and didn't really give the same attention to them once she moved forward. So it's like, it's important to have tough conversations with your siblings as you grow, as you get older, to understand each other a little better. Now, granted, I still keep my distance because they still a little crazy, but I understand them a bit more and give them a lot more grace because of that. Why are you laughing?
Always calling somebody crazy.
Everybody crazy. I'm a little crazy too. But
what if you crazy and we all normal and that's why you think we crazy?
Because I go to therapy and I talk to my therapist and I got evaluated multiple times because I thought I was. I ain't gonna hold you. I got evaluated twice the first time I started therapy because I was like, yo, something's wrong with me because there's something wrong with them. So if there's something wrong with them and I come from that tree,
it probably is rubbing off.
We all spoiled. We all spoiled fucking cabbages or whatever it's called. Spoiled apples. We all spoiled apples coming from the same tree. So let me know.
You fucked that whole quote up.
Let me know. Hey, whatever. They know what I meant. Whatever I come from. Let me know if I'm crazy. And to the point where now my therapist be like, do you want to be crazy? I feel like I don't want to be crazy, but at least if I'm crazy, I could talk. I could come to terms with that. Like
I think you want to make yourself crazy so to justify your thought process on things. Because you'll be like, well, I'm crazy. That's why I think this way.
Yeah, but I'm not crazy,
Sips.
Next question.
I'm just misunderstood.
There you go.
And I'm going through a lot. That's my favorite line for everything.
Just a girl.
But how important is it to unlearn toxic behaviors you may have been raised to learn, if that makes sense, what I just said? I said a lot of stuff. I didn't even read it.
Unlearn toxic behaviors you were raised to learn.
How important do you think it is to unlearn toxic behaviors that may have come from your family?
That's not what you said the first time.
I know.
At all.
Wow. Yeah.
It's important, especially when you have a kid, because you don't want that we don't want your kids to go through it. Like the way your mother treated you, you don't want to treat your kid that way because it wasn't healthy. But then I had this conversation with my sister not so long ago. And we questioned some things that our mother did, but it's just like at the end of the day, we got to think about it. Like, how did her mother raise her? Like, did she know how to be a mother, or did nobody ever knows? It does come with a damn rule book. So it's just like, did she even know how to raise us, or like? And then it's just like if you're having a kid back to back, and it's just like damn.
You didn't even get no time to learn. Definitely important. Like my cousins and I, we all have a pact. Like as we get older and have kids and stuff, we like if we see anything in each other that we've seen that we didn't like that our parents did, and we see each other do it, we call each other out on that shit.
That's good. Yeah. That's dope. To hold each other accountable.
We don't play that because we've seen all our parents at points not talk to each other over stupid shit, and we were like, we're never gonna be like that. We refuse to be like that. So we'll be checking in on each other and stuff like that.
Well, I'm gonna say the opposite of what Danny said, because you said that you want to give our moms grace. I don't give our parents grace. I didn't really
say that.
Well, that's kind of what you said. You ain't say it. Yeah. I'm gonna sound mean. I don't believe in giving our parents grace. And the reason why I don't give them grace is because they were us at some point in their life. So what is the difference between us and y'all? That y'all didn't decide to stop it. That y'all didn't decide to do better.
Point.
And there are parents that have grown in their generation, in the same neighborhood, that chose to treat their children better. So why didn't you follow them? Oh, y'all quiet. Yeah. I don't give the grace. Or if my thing is, if you want to give them the grace from when they raised us, at what point are you going to, they're so stuck in their ways. When are you going to change?
I think that's when you take the grace away.
They don't change.
I think you give them grace for when you grew up, but at this point, if I'm speaking to you and you're still the same way, and then it's like, all right, you don't deserve any grace anymore.
So then do you stop speaking to them?
If their behavior is that toxic to you, and yeah.
So what do you deem as toxic? Let's open that up. Because me and her are on the cut off. Yeah. So maybe we're a little too harsh.
I don't think there's a blanket. Whatever's toxic to you might not be toxic to me. I don't know.
That's true.
Listen, I'm a firm believer. If you don't need to be in my life, I can love you from a distance. I'm a firm believer in that.
I think that's what works for me. Yeah. Because I'm big on respect. It's just like if you don't respect me, if you talk to me like if I'm somebody that's not even your family, if I'm somebody on the street, if you talk to me that way, it's just like, do you even care about me? Like, I can't. Because I could love you, but I don't gotta like you.
There's sometimes I'd be like, yo, if you wasn't my mother, we wouldn't be friends.
I seen a meme that said something like, your first bully is your parent.
It could be sometimes,
it could be to some degree, because it's like sometimes they're mad because I feel like in some weird way some parents kind of get jealous of their children because their children have what they wish they had as a child. And instead of
Some of our
loving on
parents
your
didn't get to
child,
be children. That's why.
yes, and instead of you loving on your child, you causing more harm by treating them like crap. Like for me, I want my daughters are spoiled because I want them to have the best life
Growing up.
possible. And
Yeah.
I know I have to be more stern with them because that is, turning out to be bad because I don't do enough when it comes on to like disciplining. But because of how I grew up, I don't want them to ever feel like how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't want them to ever grow up feeling that kind of resentment towards me because of how I feel towards my parents. So, that's one of my biggest fears. Like my daughter's getting older and telling me they don't like me.
Yeah.
As a person, not just as a mom, but as a person. That will kill me. I'll just be like, kill me now. Put me down in the dirt. Put the dirt on top of me.
Yeah, because not like your parent means like, all right, you was just mean in the house. Like, what was you doing?
Yeah, but think about how many people don't like their like. I feel like, do you feel like you gotta have a loyalty to your parent, like no matter what? Like even if you grow up, let's say you grow up and you realize your parent is really a effed up individual. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like because it's your parent, you have to continue to have loyalty to them because they're your parent?
Up to a certain extent.
Yeah, I was about to say to a certain extent.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just very like detached.
I'm
very detached.
I feel like at certain points I'm like fully detached, and it's just like, damn, I gotta look back. It's like, damn, like this is the only person I got left. So it's like, but it's just like it's not healthy. Like I'm trying to be a different person. I'm trying to be I'm trying to be a soft girl. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, you want to talk to me like this? Like why you it's just like damn, like we could have a regular conversation. We don't have to sit here and talk to each other like this. But it's just like I don't know, like you just don't know what people go through within their own life. So it's just like now that I'm an adult, like she's done raising kids. So it's just like, all right, now you're doing your own thing, you're living your own life. But it's just like, you don't gotta talk to me so crazy. Like talk to me like we can be chill. Like we can be like
I've been
my
lucky.
friend.
The older I've gotten, my dad and I just have real conversations now, just as like men. Mm-hmm. So like we've talked about stuff me growing up and just regular conversations of me going through life. So I've been lucky to just see him and see the changes from when I was younger till now.
Funny enough, I feel like my dad is more like like open to having conversations. And funny enough, growing up, I would have never thought we'll be where we are today. Like my dad was so strict. I used to hate it. Yep. Like it used to be so annoying. He used to never let me do anything. I mean, now that I'm older, I understand it because I wouldn't have got pregnant early if I would have listened to him. But same. I feel like what also saved my relationship with my parents was my children. Seeing how they love my children is what helped me heal a little bit of my pain I had towards them.
It's like, oh, that love is in
it's
you
like,
guys.
oh, you're capable.
It's in there.
You're just an a-hole for not giving it to me. But you're doing it with your grandchildren, so I'm gonna give you that grace. I'm gonna give you that. But I communicate with my dad a little better than I do with my mom because I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a part of me has a little more resentment towards her because I view her as, you're the mom, you're supposed to be more nurturing, you're supposed to be more loving, and when a mom is not like that, it kind of grows resentment.
You just go out on a lunch. Me and my dad, there'd be times. Because where he lived and how I go to work, it takes me like 30 minutes to get from his job. Mm-hmm. I'll spend a week at my dad's house and just go to work from his house for a week. And then we just go out to eat every day during the week. Or I cook in the house.
With your dad for a week? I can't even. You stay with your dad for a week? I can't even stay with my mom for like 2 hours.
I've attempted to have conversations with my mom and like talk about like how I feel and feel. She don't want to do it. It don't work. It turns into a big argument. She feels like I'm ungrateful and
I think moms are harder. Huh? I think moms are definitely harder.
No, I think she's on the spectrum. Jesus Christ. And when you're on the spectrum, you can't really process what's being told to you. So you kind of respond to what you only could understand. And that's very limited. So
I think moms are harder because I don't want to make it a gender thing, but I think women have a slightly harder job taking accountability. So they don't want to be told they are wrong or felt like they did something wrong, especially if it feels like you're questioning their motherhood. Yeah. It's like, excuse me? It's like, none of y'all went to jail. Y'all did all this. This is how you going to question me. It's like, no, we're just having a conversation. I'm not attacking you.
Yeah, but y'all not going to jail because y'all chose not to go to jail, not because of their parenting. I don't understand why parents take a little bit too much pride in, if it wasn't for me, ma'am, you don't know what I was doing when I was in school. You don't know what I was doing when I was at work. I chose to be a good person because I chose to be a good person. I wanted to, not because you decided to make me or not make me a good person.
My father's voice still echoes in my head at this age. You got me fucked up.
Okay, well that's
when
different.
I make decisions, his voice is still in my head.
I think that moms may be a little different than dads because mommies have mommy brain. Maybe the more kids they have, the more their brain gets smaller, and that's probably why. I don't know, but I think that if a mother is a messed up mother, She deserves more disrespect from a child than a dad being a messed up dad, because as a woman, you are more nurturing. You are naturally nurturing. You're naturally supposed to protect your
That's
cub.
bullshit to me too. But I
It's
digress.
in nature. The bear, mama bear, can protect her little cub. Okay, the daddies be going outside catching the fish. Okay, so whatever.
Oh, you know my dad, so you know that's why I always feel like that's bullshit because of how I was.
Your dad is rare. I feel your dad is rare. I feel like your dad has a nurturing side to him. So that's probably why
those are rare.
Yeah, it's probably why you're able to have that relationship and that comfort, knowing that he's gonna protect you no matter what and still love you at the same time. Not everybody has that relationship with their dad. Like my dad, it tries to be nurturing now, but it feels uncomfortable because it's like, ew. Like he called me baby girl the other day. I was like, gross. You don't call me that. That's nasty. Because I feel like with my dad, I'm very tomboyish with my dad. Like, yeah, let's go fix a hole in the wall. Like, what are we doing? I'm not.
What are we doing?
Because he taught me, like, from the teenage years, he taught me how to fix hole in the wall. He taught me how to change the toilet seat. Like, I learned a lot of. He wanted me to know how to do certain things.
So you don't.
I still hug and kiss my dad on the cheek when we say goodbye.
Yeah, but I don't do that.
And talk about affection.
And don't get me wrong, my mom tries to be affectionate with me now, and I'm like, ew, who are you? Get off of me. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. You don't want it from either one of your parents.
No, because for me,
it's too late.
That's why I'm in therapy for it, because that's resentment. I'm so mad. I need to really heal from that. Like I feel so much pain and hurt from them that it's like, yo, don't kiss me, don't hug me. Like I don't touch me.
Why wasn't you doing it while I was growing up? You know, like,
and I do pray one day to heal from that, because it's not okay. And I am overly affectionate with the girls. And sometimes you'll see that I'm not as affectionate, but then I feel bad. So I'll give them like I'll go up to them randomly and smell their head and smell their neck and be like, oh my God, so good. Because I feel bad. Because my daughters are overly affectionate because I don't want them to be like me, where they don't like hugs. They don't like kisses. They don't like love. Because then it trickles down into your relationships with the opposite sex. With men, I wasn't affectionate. And the man is like, yo, I can't get a little hug. No, get away from me. You're gross. Don't touch me.
That was like me. But like now I'm changing. I'm trying to be a whole different person now.
Exactly.
I don't want to be aggressive. I don't want to be that angry black woman. Like I don't want to be that. And it's just like, damn, like, Mom, you should have loved me more. Like, you know, like, damn, like, why didn't you sit and hug me and kiss me? Why we didn't sit down and eat dinner at a table like how those other families did, you know? Like,
you know what I think could happen? And both my parents probably would beat me up. I think that we should do like a fight night, like a family fight night. Everybody put on gloves. We go in the backyard. Let's duke it out. Like, maybe duke it out. No, my mother knows how to fight. Like, I'm not even capping. You know how some people would be like, oh, I want to know if my mom know how to fight. I witnessed my mom flip my sister on her neck in 2.5 seconds. I don't know how.
You just saw
from
her
that
chase.
Day, I said I would never raise my hand on my mother. And my father knows Taekwondo and Jiu-Jitsu. I'm not fighting. I'm Taekwondo. Y'all know what the hell
Stop sipping that cup.
Whichever, both the Japanese fight where you kick up people's chest. He knows that. I'm not fighting neither one of them. But if I could and I would win, I would. We could square up.
I feel like I could beat my dad, but grown man strength is a real thing. And I definitely have respect for that. So like I wouldn't even attempt it. Even if I was angry enough and felt like I should, I would just walk away.
I could see Danny fighting unfairly.
Either way, whoever loses, how do you walk back to the family after that?
Exactly.
If I beat my dad in front of the family, how he gonna walk back and be like, all right, go do this now? It's like, nah, you lost. You're not the king anymore. And then if I lose, it's like, hey guys, how you doing? Can I get a plate? It's like, nah.
Or maybe we could do something like parental swap, right? Let's start a show.
I'm weak.
First off,
wife swap.
I don't even want to go too deep in it. Come on, steal my idea. I'm gonna tell y'all off the camera because I want to steal my idea. I'm be quiet. I'm gonna tell you off camera, but I have an idea and I have a plan. We're gonna come up with that show, and one of our parents is gonna do it with one of us. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna work it out. We're gonna do it. But all I'm gonna say is, if our parents could feel the way we felt as a kid, they'll say sorry.
I highly doubt it.
They'll say sorry.
I be feeling like I was spoiled with how I grew up when I be hearing y'all talk.
I'm sorry. Some mothers, like, my mom gets on my nerves, but when I look at some other mothers, it's like,
there's always a situation worse. There's always somebody that had it worse.
Because some people's moms need to get smacked, like for real, like real life.
What did I tell you the other day? The comedian, he said if everybody threw their problems up in the air, you would grab your problems first.
Mm-hmm.
Damn right.
Yeah, it's true.
Damn right.
Well, I have a scenario for you guys.
Oh.
I have a scenario. So JD always talks about having a favorite cousin. So because of this, I'm gonna bring up family members like a cousin. Let's say you got a favorite cousin, favorite brother, favorite sister. And let's say you're married and that particular favorite family member gets into an altercation with your husband or your wife, and your spouse says to you, you're gonna have to choose.
Oh,
You gonna go forward with me, or you gonna go forward with your family? Pick one. Who you choosing?
my cousin. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm really not even sorry. That's my cousin.
You
That's like
choosing your
that's like
cousin?
my dad, my best friend, my cousin, my brother. Like that's all in one. I can't, and that's my family.
And why would you choose your cousin?
Well, the fact
'Cause
that you
because
even
we're
said that I
really-
have to choose number one.
Yeah, I would never.
I said physical altercation. That's what I said. So they
It
duped it
should
out.
have
They
never
fought.
even gotten that far. But it's just like
Realistically,
you
I
know,
would
if it
fight
did,
both of y'all if you got to a point where y'all put hands on each other. Because why are we doing
why did
this?
it ever get that far? Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to choose, but if I really did have to, I would definitely choose my cousin over. I can always find another man, but it's just like no, like this is my cousin, this is my whole heart, like you know. So I don't know.
What about you, JD?
He'd have to have been dead wrong and putting hands on you for me to pick my wife or whoever it is. Otherwise, it's like, all right, the fact that you're trying to make me choose, I love you, but goodbye.
I mean, y'all know I'm distant, so
Because my cousin and I, we 4 months apart. We the same age. So we grew up together, literally. That's really my brother. That's not even my cousin. So that's really like, yeah, no.
like I'm gonna choose my male favorite cousin. Now Kahari, shout out to Kahari. That's my favorite cousin. When I tell you we locked in twin, that's my cousin. But if I am married and they get into a physical altercation, like a fist fight, y'all ain't gonna like my choice, but I'm gonna choose my husband.
What if your husband was wrong but still wanted you to choose
No.
him?
It's situational. It's situational. Like if my cousin wilded out and started it, then I'm gonna get on my cousin's ass and I'm gonna choose my husband. But if my husband started it and my husband makes me choose,
I don't feel like you should ever have to choose.
I would
though.
choose my husband regardless because that's my family. That's who I chose.
But why would he?
My cousin is who I was born.
It's the choosing
into.
part that gives me an
Yeah,
issue. Y'all
'cause if
cannot be
that's your
around each
husband
other or like certain events. Obviously, I wouldn't have y'all together and
Yeah,
stuff
but
like
that's
that.
basically subtly saying choose. You know why? Like obviously you like I'm talking about like I would still talk to my cousin. Granted, I would still talk to my cousin, but I would still respect my husband and move forward with my husband on ways. And if I have an event, my cousin can't come anymore. That's choosing. Regardless, that's choosing, is it not?
Yeah.
If you go and have, let's say, a baby shower, would you invite that cousin?
My cousin,
That's
who I'm
my
thinking of,
cousin.
yeah, he got
If your
come,
husband
'cause
says
he's gonna be the
secure, and
godfather.
if your husband rings the bell and says, "Hello, security, we have an intruder," then what?
I don't like that.
Yeah, but who you gonna choose? For me,
My baby.
I
You
have
cut
to.
the baby out.
For me,
Keep the baby.
I feel like my cousin should respect and understand that that's my husband. I have to respect his wishes of not being uncomfortable. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. We all have different opinions. That's just my opinion. I would respect
get
my
where you're coming
cousin.
from.
I would respect my cousin's wife. Like if my cousin, decides like, yo, you fought my wife.
What
like,
if
I
you felt like
understand.
your husband was overreacting though?
Fist fight?
Yeah, like what if you think that the
Yeah.
situation?
What if you feel like it was kind of fair that it got physical, even though that sounds kind of crazy, even though it's
I'm
opposite
still
sex?
gonna choose my husband.
So even if you felt like he was overreacting, you still would be like, I'm on his
That's
side.
a conversation for us to have. I'm gonna hold my partner accountable regardless. I'm gonna hold my partner accountable, yes. But when it comes on to like them feeling uncomfortable and them
Comfortable. I
saying
get
like,
what
yo,
you're saying.
I'm gonna respect them and choose them first because that's who I chose. I chose him as my family. I have to protect him just like he protects me.
But there's also
My
some
family
spouses,
members is who was born with. But I would give my cousin the same respect. If me and his wife fought and my cousin was like, yo, my wife don't feel like she wants you to come to the baby shower or the graduation or whatever, I'll still send my gift and wish them well and respect the space, that the boundary. Like, yo, I can't come. All right, cool. I got you. I understand. I beat her ass. I'm sorry.
I feel like sometimes some spouses try to take you away from your family members too.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And that's different. I'm not. Nobody can't tell me because I even had a person I was dating, and he might reach out after I say this, but he basically brought him and my cousin wasn't really dealing with each other for some reason. It was female cousin. He wasn't really dealing with her. Her and I love her. Like you're not telling me to talk. Like when it comes to her, I don't play. And he was basically telling me a scenario. He was like, would you ever stop talking to a family member? He never said who, but I put I dropped her in that slot and said, you talking about her? You talking about her? Because if you talking about her, that's not going to go down like that. I don't even play. And then he was like, I wasn't even talking about her, but if I was, then would you stop talking to her? Absolutely effing not. No, the hell I won't. Because you're not about to do that. I don't like that isolation shit. Now, if my husband's trying to if my husband purposely started a fight to have that type of leadway, of course not. You could fuck off. I'm divorcing you because I'm not with that.
That's
But
crazy.
if we had a barbecue and they both drunk and they both acting stupid and they get into a physical altercation and my husband get fucked up, I'm sorry, I feel bad. I'm a rock out with my husband. I'm about to let you beat up my husband and come to my baby shower. I'm not doing that. Because now my husband got to sit there with his head down.
He don't
My
have
husband
to.
not about to be at his baby shower with his
don't
head
have
down,
to.
ashamed because my cousin beat him up 2 weeks ago. No,
You can't win all your
Cousin.
fights.
No.
Everybody can't be Floyd.
My cousin would have to do I would want them to feel comfortable. So we're gonna have a meeting or something.
Yeah.
But I'm not like at the end of the day for me. Once I chose you as my family, you are my husband. I chose you. I'm gonna put you first because you are who's supposed to be first. You're my family. You're supposed to get your husband or your wife and move forward.
That's how it's
Whoever's
supposed to
behind
be,
you is
yeah.
behind you. I'm so sorry. It sounds harsh, but it is what it fucking is.
Nah, you
That's how I
right.
feel.
You right. You have a point. You got a point.
You shaking your head over there. You gonna marry your cousin? Oh. But in general, because we are getting to the last few minutes of this episode, in general though, how do we move forward as Black? Because every episode I always talk about how we can move forward. How do we move forward as people just to have better relationships with family? What is y'all advice on that?
People have to be open to criticism. That's where it starts.
What about you?
And stop taking criticism
She just like me,
as
so
an
I don't know if you want
attack.
to give some good.
Yeah, I was
gotta
I was
stop-
gonna say you first before I even said something. Go ahead,
You
continue.
can't take criticism as an attack on your character. That'd be people's issue. And I'm gonna drop some.
I believe in family fight nights. I think it's something that should be considered. And I think, like you said, you got to talk. I think you got to be open and honest. And I think you have to allow people to sit in their pain and like really deal with it. And just respect each other's boundaries.
If you're a little older, take your parents out to eat one at a time if you want, and have a real conversation with them.
My mom likes to fight, so I don't want her to flip the table over and like I gotta run to security.
You gotta go somewhere nice.
I think
them in a good
our
mood.
moms need to just be friends at this point because they sound so like. They sound like I don't know. I just feel like communication is like a big thing. I'm really big on communication and respect, and I feel like right now where I'm at in life, I am gonna just preserve my energy and protect my space because. Like, I gotta put me first.
Yeah. Gotta
Like,
put me first, Lucius. Gotta put me first.
I gotta put me first. But
Yeah, that's true.
communication is everything. But some people get it and some people don't. And if they don't, they just
Put your feet. Yep. Feet.
put your foot
Put your
down.
feet. I didn't even mean to say feet. Put your
All
peace.
episode you been just.
Put your peace above it all. If it disturbs your peace to communicate with that person, no matter who it is, cut it off.
Yeah.
Or keep them at a far across the street distance.
You can love
It,
from a distance.
hurts. It hurts though.
Of course,
it
yeah.
hurts, but it's just like
Yeah, because sometimes you gotta mourn the idea you had in your mind of what could have been.
yeah, and it's like how many chances do you give somebody, Yeah. That put me first.
And for people that's like us, see, I respect JD for not making us feel like we can't feel how we feel.
Yeah.
For people that are like us that don't have the best relationships with their family, it's important to let us have that moment. You don't know what happened behind the scenes. You don't know what we went through. You don't know what made us make that decision. For a person to make a decision to distance themselves from a family member, there's some shit
They
there.
have to go through some deep shit.
Yeah, and y'all gotta just respect it.
And a lot
And
of
then
shit.
for people that are like us, that know people like JD, we gotta be happy and grateful for those people. Like I love being around JD family.
Yeah.
Love
see?
being around them.
I
They
want
fill that
one
gap
day.
that I
Yeah.
feel like I
that.
have.
I want to be in
So lock in with your friends that got family.
Yeah, I'd be confused with you and your family. I'm like, I couldn't imagine. I wish I had more brothers and sisters. Shit.
You would have fight night. We're gonna have fight night.
Who doesn't want to be family oriented?
Of
though?
course,
Like,
you
we
don't wanna
want
not be
that. I
family
would
oriented.
love that.
Exactly.
Some
But
families-
and just we're doing the work. Our generation is doing the work to like unlearn that. People make fun of gentle parenting, but
We're trying.
if you do it right, it is successful. Have conversations with your kids. Let your kids be
Yeah.
transparent. Let your kids be open.
Gently whoop their ass. Yes.
You tell me what he said, like the 1 hour talk time.
Oh yeah, I was doing talk time with my
I
daughters
did
at
it
one
yesterday.
point where I let them in it.
did it
Yeah,
yesterday.
you give your children an hour to, in a private room. Let them be transparent. Don't hold them. Don't hold it against them. Like honestly, if your kids may say some shit that rubs you the wrong way, hold your composure and let your kids vent. And if you can't do that, where it's face to face, get a little notebook and
Let
just
them
let
write it
them
out.
express themselves fully. Transparently, because it can get you to understand your child more and just build that relationship where y'all are closer with one another.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody should do that. But before we go, I want to gift you guys something, and I want to talk to y'all about it first.
Oh, yeah.
I want to gift y'all both crowns because y'all deserve it. JD already got one crown. He gonna get his second crown from me. Because
Still
I
didn't
give
get my
everybody their
crown,
crowns.
guys. I still didn't get my crown, guys.
I had to restock up on them. Be quiet. Gonna get
Just
2 crowns
saying.
today. Be quiet.
Just saying, guys. Didn't
I
get my
give
crown.
crowns as a way to give people their flowers while they're here. The fact that you have not the best relationship with your family, but you allowed to lock in with me as a sister. I
Yes,
appreciate
girl.
that. And you are an amazing mother and you deserve your flowers for that.
Thank
And
you,
JD,
too.
thank you for always being. You always here. We locked in. You always here. You always supportive. You're always helpful, even when you don't want to. I tell him all the time he acts like Squidward, but he loves SpongeBob
And he'll
because I'm
still do it.
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I
So-
get paid like I work at the Krusty Krab. Shit. I don't see no check. Shit.
And I genuinely appreciate y'all both.
Yeah.
And I have some good bittersweet news for the
Thank
viewers.
yourself.
Yes, thank you.
Shake them titties. Now I have some bittersweet news. This is the last time you all will see me in this beautiful space. I am transitioning into bigger and better things. I'm going into a better space, a different space, because my engineer Poncho, appreciate you. He is moving on to bigger and better things. He has a platform named Encore where he allows artists to come and perform. Y'all should go follow him on Instagram for that. And overall, I want to gift Poncho. I want to give you your flowers too. At the end of the day, you have been helpful. You have helped me along the way in so many different ways. We locked in. You're a friend for life. I fuck with you. I love you. I love you all. And until next time, you're gonna see me again.
We've never been in front of a camera without Poncho behind the camera.
Right. And Poncho's more than an engineer. Like, he's a friend. Like, he really helps me in so many different ways outside of just podcasting. He's really dope. And also, before we go, can y'all shout out you're not shouting out yours. Shout out your Instagram if you're willing to. If you're not, then you don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't got one anyways.
Female Hugh Hefner, 2 R's at the end, _.
Dead. I did not know that.
There's the meaning that you think it means, it definitely doesn't.
She's a pimp daddy. That's what that means.
Oh, I know that.
Clock it.
I know that.
But you can follow me on TikTok. We got an Instagram. We got the YouTube Pass Down Your Crown. My personal page is I am Pattie J. We're also on Spotify.
You gonna spell that for the people?
I don't want to spell. I can't spell too good. I'm a little slow.
Patty with an I-E, not a Y.
J.
Yeah, you slow down on that. See, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
See, you should have said Patty with an I-E, not a Y.
There
Until
we go.
next
Listen,
time,
guys, I don't do the social media.
Y'all are going to see me again. Just a different space, just a different conversation. But we're going to be back. And we're going to have a time. Until next time, bye.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. Yo.